Hey, DMA's here. We've got a new source book dropping this week, and with it comes 8 new subclasses. So I thought we'd take a look at those subclasses, and with each one, I'm going to come up with an idea for a character that I would play if I were to use that subclass. The College of the Moon Bard. So the College of the Moon Bard, it draws from the history and the folklore from the Moonshae Islands. Now, I don't know a whole lot about the Moonshae Islands. I haven't played in that area very much. However, I do know that there's a big Fae presence there because about 100 years prior to when most campaigns in the 5e modules start, moonwells popping up all over the place with Fae creatures coming in, and they called it the Fae invasion. The College of the Moon Bard that I would play. He is a young human male. He's recently arrived on the Swords Coast from the Moonshae Isles. He comes with stories from his past history and culture. Stuff that he's learned from life on the Moonshae Isle from those older than him. Those that were there at the time. His grandparents, his neighbors. But here's the thing. He's not actually a young 20-something human. He's actually a Fae creature. He's a changeling. And he's over 100 years old. These stories are not being told secondhand. This is his personal experience with the Fae invasion. Oath of the Noble Genie's Paladin. Paladins sworn to this oath use the forces of the elemental planes. They draw their power from 4 types of elemental genie. The Tao, Masters of Earth, the Jinn, Masters of Air, Ifrit, Masters of Fire, and Marids, Masters of Water. Now, my paladin is going to focus on the Marids. He is a dwarf that was trapped in a mine, and while trying to escape the mine, he maybe dug in the wrong area and sprung a leak. Some water from a nearby lake came through. And as it's flooding, what comes through with that water? A lamp that's been under this body of water for who knows how long. He gets this lamp, and he frees the Marid, the water genie that's been trapped in there. The genie saves him from drowning. So now, he harnesses the elemental power of water, dedicated to the genie that saved his life, and he took that oath. The Winter Walker Ranger. These icy rangers are masters of cold climate survival, and they have some frost magic as well. My human ranger, he grew up in one of the 10 towns of Icewind Dale. That seems like a logical place to start this sort of character. And they were a hunter. They would leave the comfort of their town to go out and hunt for food and pelts to bring back to sell in the town and to keep everyone warm and fed. However, one time they got lost, and they got stuck out in the snow, and they were dying. If you know the canon of Icewind Dale, at this point, this is where Levistus from the Nine Hells shows up and offers them a contract to save their life and make them immune to the cold. She's too proud. She's not going to take that contract. But in a rare moment of respect for mortals, the Frost Maiden comes along and sees this. Sees that someone would rather die in the cold than take a deal with Levistus. And Oral gives them her blessing. Now she's immune from cold. She survives the night out in the snow. She's got some cool ice powers to go along with her ranger abilities. The Scion of the Three Rogues. Now, these are really fun to play, especially if you like to play evil-aligned characters. These rogues draw upon the power of the Dead Three. That's Bane, Baal, and Mirku. And they use that power to bring death and terror to their enemies. Now, my drow rogue is an assassin. For years of his life, he killed mercilessly, feeling no empathy for his victims and no guilt. What he doesn't know is that the reason he felt nothing was that Baal was suppressing his guilt, suppressing his empathy. It was all in an effort to try to create the perfect killer. And now, this worked for a while, until our rogue made a mistake. Someone got away, someone lived, and Baal said, well, I guess this isn't the perfect killer. And he decided to move on with a new project. Then suddenly, all at once, our rogue felt the empathy and the guilt for everyone they had ever killed. With no other life skills or abilities, he didn't know what to do. There was really only one thing he was good at. But also, he'd be lying if he didn't say he had a little bit of the bloodlust still. So he went back to doing the only thing that he knew how to do. Killing. The Spellfire Sorcerer. So these sorcerers use Spellfire. It's an unpredictable power of magic tapped directly from the weave to cast powerful fire, radiant, and healing magic. Now, how would a sorcerer be connected to the weave like this from birth? How would it be part of them to begin with? That's what I thought of. So this one's one of my darkest characters, but call me Liam O'Brien, I'm making a sad boy. So my Spellfire Sorcerer doesn't know much about his past. As a newborn baby, he was found in the wreckage of a burned home. Somewhere along the way, somehow, he will learn at the DM's discretion and using the DM's storytelling that his family experienced a house fire. It was in the middle of the night, and they didn't know in time, and by the time they were aware of what was happening, it seemed already too late to escape. And his mom was very pregnant at the time with him. So, being an apprentice wizard, had the ability to grab the fabrics of the weave. What she did was she grabbed those fabrics and she wrapped them around her unborn baby inside of her, protecting the baby from the fire that ravaged their home. So by the time the fire went out, all that was left in the remains of their home was a single, uninjured, newborn baby. These last three are not fully new, they're just new versions of subclasses that you've seen before. We'll start with the Blade Singer Wizard. Blade Singers use a form of wizardry that incorporates swordplay and dance into their spellcasting. My Blade Singer is a young bookworm. He comes from a family of warriors, as all of his brothers go off to fight in wars just like their dad did. He goes to Neverwinter Academy. He has a lot of issues with his family because they don't respect him, because he didn't go off and fight in battles. He doesn't fight with weapons, he fights with his mind. Being tired of constantly judged and ridiculed by his family, he decided to take some classes while he was at school, and he started taking some swordplay classes and got pretty good with the sword and became a Blade Singer wizard. He might not have the respect of his father yet, but ever since he returned home from school and dueled his oldest brother and won, he at least has the respect of his brothers. The Knowledge Domain Cleric. These clerics are all about uncovering lost wisdom and lore and expanding their minds. That's especially true for my cleric, who spent his entire life studying. He's now an elderly gnome, and he's always been studying the lore of the deity that he chooses to worship, which is Gond. And Gond has done a lot of things for people. He's built things through them. He's used them as vessels. He's spoken to and through people. He's read lots of stories about that, but it's never happened to him. Why not him? All he does is spends his days thinking about Gond and learning more about him, realizing, and hopefully not too late in life, that Gond is also a deity of crafting and inventiveness. He realizes he's never done anything like that in his life. He's never had original ideas. He's never created something. He's just read about other people's things. And maybe that's why Gond has never spoken to him like he's spoken to the people he's read about. Determined to live the remainder of his life to its fullest and experience everything he's missed, our Knowledge Domain Cleric now adventures with an adventuring party in the Swords Coast to learn to truly live. The Purple Dragon Knight Fighter. Now these Purple Dragon Knights, they are known as an elite military order, and they're known for their leadership in battle and their support skills. And now in the new version of this subclass, we're taking the name more literally because every Purple Dragon Knight Fighter gets an actual purple dragon that grows with them as they level. Now my fighter was never a member of that elite military order. Maybe his dad was. He doesn't really know his father. He's got a few artifacts from his past, like his armor and this weird purple rock. And eventually, when he and his mother are struggling to get by financially, he thinks, I should probably sell this. Not knowing the true value of the purple stone, he chooses to leave his small town and go to a larger city. While on the way there, though, that stone started to crack. It hatched. It was a purple dragon, and that purple dragon immediately bonded to him. Now, wearing his father's armor and fighting side by side with, and eventually upon the back of his purple dragon friend, they fight for his father's memory and for the honor and leadership of the Purple Dragon Knights. What do you think? Which subclass are you most excited about? Would you play any of those backstories that I just made up? Let me know which one's your favorite in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe.